Hello, loves, and welcome to Mentor Masterclass. I'm so excited to introduce you to one of your featured celebrity mentors, Erin Stutland. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Erin is one of your featured mentors when you join the Mentor Masterclass group, and I'm so excited to introduce you to her so you can figure out what she does in the world, how to find her, and all of the beautiful insights that she'll be sharing in your interview, in your training. So, Erin, let me give them your official glamour bio.
A glamour bio.
So Erin Stutland is a life and fitness coach and the creator of the Glamour magazine and Crunch featured Mind Body Workout Shrink Session, Tone Your Body, Expand Your Mind, and the online goal setting course Magical Manifestors, which is less hustle and more flow. As a former professional dancer turned actress, Erin has guest starred on The Sopranos, The Chappelle Show, Sex and the City, As the World Turns, and so many more. She combined her love for movement, spirituality, self-development, and creativity into a coaching business that helps people create movement in their bodies and movement in their lives. Love it. And she has a knack for inspiring a room full of people who might not normally like to move to sweat like it's their job. She does this and everything with a sense of humor, ease, and a touch of sass because going for your dreams should be nothing short of a good time. And she does this through erinstutland.com and shrinksession.com. So, Erin, I would love for you to just share. Thank you so much for being here, for being a mentor. So excited. Your training is such a gem. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Can you give them a little bit of a sneak peek of what you're teaching them in Mentor Masterclass?
Yeah, we go into some of my favorite tools that you can use in your life and that you can also impart onto your, to your clients that have been truly transformative. And they're, I think about them, actually, I call them this even in Magical Manifestors. They're your magic tools because I just think that a lot of the tools we should use should feel magical and fun and easy and light and move you into a sense of deeper connection with yourself and your soul and your ideas and your creativity. So that's really the tools that we're talking about today are going to help you do that. And we touch upon we talk about some really good marketing that I think is kind of non-traditional marketing discussion that we get into of really what's like the best way to put yourself out there. We touch on challenges of how to lead up to a sale of a product. I really love the discussion we have around challenges and how to make those kind of sales type processes work for you. And I think one of my favorite things that I think that we touch upon is how to draw in clients to you. And it's kind of the opposite of what you think you think it is.
Easiest thing I've ever heard, and the easiest once you hear it, and probably something you haven't thought of before.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a really fun one. I'm excited about sharing that one.
And also, one of the gems from your session, I really feel was like just one. I feel like we just got in a really on the level conversation, just behind the scenes, what it really is like running a coaching business, what it's like when you're starting, and long term, the things that happen internally with you and in your business over time, something that will be really cool for you guys to get insight on and be able to paint that picture ahead of the game. And Erin was so real with us, just sharing, behind the scenes internally what she's gone through in her biggest moments of shift and change in our business, like the numbers when you went, what you go through when you're taking a rise, when you're becoming more seen and known and your products are selling in a bigger way and your sessions are being sold out in a bigger way. I just thought some of the things you shared in your interview about dealing with growing and expanding and being willing to receive that and step into that was such an amazing conversation and training.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for people to have a listen.
So, Erin, can you tell us a little bit about why did you become a coach? How did you get into this business, and where has it taken you now? Where are you now? Where can we find you, and how can we support you?
Well, I think my guess is, like most people who find their way into coaching, it's probably something that they've always been doing throughout their life in some way, some form, helping people, listening, really loving to listen and help and reflect back to people. So that, like them, that's something that I've done. You know, my fiance makes fun of me because he's always like, I can guarantee that if we're in a room full of people, you will know the like deepest stories of at least 5 people by the end of the night, because people just want to tell you things. And I think probably most people who are listening can relate to that. So that was very much my story. I really enjoyed people and had a great passion and curiosity for people. But I actually started out as you mentioned, a dancer, and I was dancing professionally, and I moved into acting, which I think all of those, you're using a lot of intuition and creativity, obviously, for the fields of the arts. And I really I never intended to start a business, a coaching business. It wasn't quite my intention. I had started sort of a side project where I was teaching a workout, and I was combining some of the creative coaching tools that I had picked up along the way as an artist from working with coaches. And it really started as a workshop. And it was before the days of Facebook and everyone having a website. I sent out an email to a group of people who I knew and said, hey, I'm going to run this 4-week workshop. I got 25, 30 people to sign up for it. And that was really the beginning of my business. And through running the workshop over and over again, I started to really hone my skills and see where I was thriving and see how I could really help people, and sort of grew out from that. And it's been a really fun journey. So it's been a journey of learning about marketing, learning how to run a business, learning how to hone my skills as a coach, learning how to create online programs. So now my business is at a place where I'm really primarily doing less one-on-one coaching. I have Shrink Session, which is my workout that I created, which is a combination of cardio, dance, and yoga philosophy woven in with mantras that you're saying out loud. There's live classes in New York City. I have a few teacher trainers who are also teaching in New York. There's an online program, so you can do shrink sessions from anywhere. People all over the world are jumping around their homes with us. And then I have another program, Magical Manifestors, which is also what started as an in-person, really fun, creative goal-setting program that's now all online. It's just about continuing to create more stuff.
Erin, I just want to let people get a sense of Shrink Session with you for a moment, and it's something you shared in our interview that I felt just landed really powerfully. And I was in the training, we were talking about sessions that people use, you were teaching them how to use tools in session with their clients and sharing one of your favorite ones. And I asked you about how do you create your mantras for Shrink Session, and I just think it was so powerful. I wonder if you want to share with us just a little so we can feel like what Shrink Session really is.
Yeah, so the mantras that I create for Shrink Session really begin with me, and I start with, what are my own worries, fears, concerns about wherever I am at in my life. Because most of us, if I'm having a feeling, it's likely that somebody else has had or is having that same feeling. So I really start with myself because that's the truth. And I usually often make a list of whatever these fears are, and then I turn them into mantras or affirmations. And sort of the story that I shared in our session was just that, in particular with for example, the sequence that I'm teaching right now. I had spent time away in Chicago, a month away from work. I wasn't working. I kind of stepped back from my life and really took the time to reconnect and recommit to some of the dreams that I felt like I had lost touch with, just because you're in the day-to-day doing so much, and you set up your goals for yourself, and then you do it, you're in the doing mode, that you forget, what is it like to dream a little bit bigger, to push beyond my boundaries. So the mantras that even in Shrink Session that I'm using right now for the next few weeks are: I now recommit, I am willing to dream, I say what I want, and I let it come to me. And it's really all about allowing yourself to dream, and then really articulating and not being afraid to say what those dreams are, because that part can be scary.
Can you talk about, Erin, too, the thought that you put into, you said there's like a punch sequence that you do, and the idea behind the mantra that you paired with that movement, and why?
Yeah, so when we say I say what I want, I coupled that with a challenging punching combination. It's a little tricky. You have to concentrate. It's not easy. It's kind of hard. And so you're doing this thing that's physically hard, and then you're saying, I say what I want. And it was strategic in doing that because I wanted people to get that saying what you want is hard. It's not an easy thing to do. And so I wanted you to experience the sensation of doing something that was difficult and still talking through it. And so that's what that one is. And it's fun to watch people, like, it's a mind bender, you know. It's like it's both complicated physically, mentally, emotionally, and that's what I think saying what you want is. It's complicated physically, mentally, emotionally. So that was the intention behind that one.
What I love behind Erin's workouts is that they're easy and you're bringing your spirit in. It's like it's about just moving your body and having fun, but beyond having fun, you're also doing healing. Like you're really pairing your body with these things that are happening in your mind and in your life, and it's so powerful, her workouts, and it's amazing that you offer it online and in person. So it's like really anyone, anywhere in the world can get it.
Anywhere, anyone. And it's really about creating a shift inside yourself. The reason why, really quickly I'll say, the reason why we say mantras while we're moving is because, you know, there's so many great spiritual practices, and we can meditate and we can kind of say mantras and like repeat them to ourselves. But the thing is if, you know, you might be saying like, I am powerful, but the body has like a whole different story. A whole, like, the body's like, no, you're not. You've proven to me, you've been saying you're not powerful for years and years and years. So just because you're telling yourself the thought's not quite as powerful as when you're being something. And we kind of talked about this in our session as well, that the beingness is way more powerful than any thought, any prayer, any meditation that you could have. It's like, how are you being? And so part of the workout is to get you to experience being in a new way. So it's not just about thinking these mantras, it's about saying them, but also taking on the emotional life of what does it feel like to say, I say what I want, you know, and to feel that physically in your body, in every cell. It's a really exciting, it's so amazing, the transformation that happens with people who do shrink session. I'm blown away by it, like, truthfully. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, how people are feeling in their bodies and their identification that they have with their bodies and how it's affecting their lives. It's awesome.
Could you have ever dreamed from the moment you first, like, you transitioned into being a coach and that you would have a product, you know, just, I don't know how many years it is since you started, but this time later, just like, can we take a moment to celebrate with you the moment you were who you were when you began, just thinking coaching could be a thing that I could do to make money, it could be my career, to like now celebrating and really knowing the way you change people's lives through this program that's now worldwide and in person in New York City. Can you just brag a little bit with us?
It's so hard to brag, but it's yeah, it's amazing. You know, I had a realization, this was a while ago, because, you know, I was coming from the background of being an artist. And as an artist, you know, all you want to do is create things and make things. And I think the biggest phrase you hear from artists is like, I just want to be a working artist. I want to make money. I want to get paid to express my creativity and my ideas. And, you know, that was my dream as well. And I thought that it would come in the form of like a TV show or, you know, and it was coming in that form, but not the full expression of it. And I had the realization a couple years ago, like after I put out the product, I had this realization. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a working artist. Like, I am getting paid to put my ideas out there, my creativity, like everything that I have on Stutland.com and shrinksession.com is because I dreamt it, I created it, I made it, and then I put it out there. And to know that like that your creativity and your ideas and your soul can have such an influence and such a positive impact on people's lives, like I'm done. Like that's amazing. Like I'm done. You know what I mean? Like I feel extremely accomplished, like truly satisfied, like ready for more, but like truly satisfied.
Yeah, that's something we talked about in Erin's training too, like what growth means as you start to evolve and you start to see your dreams come true. Where do you take back and be grateful for where you are and receive more? It's such an honor to get to celebrate that with you, Erin. And I think for the women who are watching this, either they're probably in a state of hope to create that in their life, and they're trying to step into that. And it's great to be able to, you know, I've been there too, and just to be in this moment and acknowledge, like, you've done it, you've put in the work, and you're there, and it's possible, and it happens, and you're just a living, breathing example of that beautiful love and that expression that's present and available to us in our
Yeah.
life.
And I just want to say, like, I'm not special. Like, I am, you are, we all are. We're all special and unique. But, like, there's people who are smarter, prettier, all of those things. Like, I'm really just your average girl who, like, was committed to something and was committed to my own self-expression, my own truth, and had really the only difference, and this is even something I still work on. The only difference, I think, between where you're sitting and someone who is ahead of you is that maybe they just have more courage to keep going, because that's all it's about. It's about courage, and it's really scary to put yourself out there. But the difference is that the person who puts themselves out there just musters up the courage for those few minutes to do it. And I really truly believe that's the difference between somebody who's really out there and who's not. Is that they're not. I'm not saying they're not afraid, because they are afraid, but they move through the fear with a sense of courage, and they're willing to. They don't let failure push them back, and they recognize that failure is a part of the process. So I just want to say that like there's nothing special or spectacular happening other than I just keep moving forward. Which I say that because I really believe it's possible for anyone.
I believe that too. I had nothing handed. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Erin, how can we find you and support you? Where are these amazing programs that you're talking about, and how can we stay connected with you and support what you're doing in the world?
Come over to erinstutland.com. You can. There's some really awesome free goodies on there. And I'm blogging all the time, so there's great free resources, but there's also an awesome playlist with mantras that you can take with you on a walk. Come over to shrinksession.com. There's free workouts there too, and sort of once you're in, once you sign up, we'll be keeping you updated on any little goodies and surprises that are coming out. And then you can find me on Facebook, Erin Stutland. You can friend me. You can come to my business page. I'm always posting things there. Instagram, I love Instagram, Stutland, Twitter, all the social medias. And of course, anytime you come shoot me an email and say hello at Erin@erinstutland.com. I read all my email and try to reply to almost all of them if I can.
Awesome, Erin. So, Erin, the woman, I love to address the woman who's sitting on the edge of her seat, like thinking about joining Mentor Masterclass, thinking about becoming a life coach and taking that leap. And there's a couple stories that come up, like I don't have the time, it's too expensive, I don't have the money, or I'm not good enough. And I'm just wondering if there's anything you might say to her at this point about the importance of taking that leap, or your experience of taking those leaps in your life to get where you are.
Yeah. Well, I think that, in addressing like the money issue, one of the earlier coaching programs that I had enrolled in and sort of my journey was a very expensive, big mastermind program.
You could say they are probably Marie Forleo's.
Yeah, Marie Forleo. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, great. So Marie Forleo, I did her mastermind program. I had done a smaller program with her online. This is before B School. I'm sure everyone knows what B School is now. I had worked with her in a smaller program and then had the opportunity to go into her mastermind. Super expensive program. We're talking a $20,000 program. I had never, ever in my life invested that kind of money in myself, ever, or dreamed that that was even an option for me, quite frankly. And, luckily I had some, my brother and his wife were like, I spoke to them about it, and they were like, they saw it as a great opportunity, which is amazing, and so they were very helpful in it. But here's the one thing I want to say about it. People always ask me, was it worth it? Was it worth the $20,000? Mm-hmm. And in addition to obviously like the community that I built and all of the skills that I learned, which were wonderful skills, I think the biggest reward that I got from it, what really made it worth it, was the minute I said, I'm worth $20,000. My dream is worth $20,000. I deserve to learn at this level with this kind of person. My life changed, and I hadn't even learned a thing yet. I just wrote a check. And I just think it was really about shifting into the place of self-worth and deserving. And the one thing that I'll just close on in saying that is, if you're experiencing, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, whatever, this is all just this is like your ego's way of trying to keep you busy, because what really I believe is the deeper fear underneath that, and I was actually writing about it today, if we sat in it, it's very uncomfortable. It's the fear that, like, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable. And so your work is not about finding more time, finding more money, finding all of these external things. I think if you're about to make this decision, your first work is to be like, ask yourself, do I deserve it? I am worthy. There's nothing lacking in my life. A wonderful mantra I say is, I forgive myself for buying into the illusion that I am lacking in any way, because it's an illusion. And start with that place, like drop into that place, and then go ahead and really suss out your decision of whether or not you're ready to invest in something. But I will say that I think Janine's program is amazing. I think Janine is amazing. I just think what you do is so outstanding, and I think what you offer is so different than anything else that's out there, because of the community, the rich, rich community that you focus on and build. And I really believe that our lives change because of community that we're involved in. I really do. So congratulations to you, and if you're thinking about it, do it!
Thank you, Erin, and thank you, sister, watching this. And we hope to see you behind the scenes in Mentor Masterclass. If you're interested in joining, you can go to mentormasterclass.com, hit apply. There's an application there, and we accept those women that are ready and feeling that complete yes. And if you do, you'll get to meet Erin further and dig into her training, and we hope to see you there. And Erin, so honored and so thankful and so excited to share your wisdom with these girls and these women. It's just really the kind of encouragement and insight and embodied knowing that is so valuable to have early on in these shifts. And you've been such a beautiful example of that in your life and continue to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.